In my years as a judge on Forging Fire, I have wielded many iconic weapons from history. Each strike of the hammer, each spark in the forge, these moments connect us to our past. I've studied the diverse cultures of bladesmithing and tested some of the most unique weapons to uncover their function, their history, and their culture. As a Kali martial artist, my journey has taken me around the world. I've pursued my passion for the bladed arts. This path has led me to design a series of knives to be able to train special forces and law enforcement units as a practitioner and instructor. And in that time, I've learned this one thing. Every blade has a story to tell. But this blade has one hell of a story to tell. Lineage. I've teamed up with Kid Heroes Productions, creators of the Lumpia films and comic books, to do something entirely different.
We've been working very closely with Doug to extract all his ideas and map out the entire series. It's been a lot of fun, developing all the concepts.
It was a really cool opportunity to get to work with Doug, who is an actual practitioner and master of the Filipino martial arts.
Lineage is an action thriller. It follows this tale about a father and his two sons, trained in the blade.
Two brothers exploring and confronting their past with regards to their father.
And their mysterious connection to a bloodthirsty cult.
The biggest influence on this comic has been movies like Brotherhood of the Wolf, the Raid films, The Night Comes for Us.
The art will be done by Felix Morales and Raymond Lee, and the designs we've seen so far, they're really pretty amazing.
This project means a lot to me. It combines my love for the craft of martial arts, for edge weapons fighting, and my Filipino roots.
If you've been liking what you've been hearing so far and you want to see this series fully realized, please join us, be a backer.
Thank you for your support and mabuhay, because this is our story to tell. This comic book will kill.
There you go, y'all. That was the Kickstarter video for Lineage from Kid Heroes Productions. Shout out to my man Patrick, Patricio Janelsa, the West Coast P. I'm Kuya P. So of course it's the Dobro, the Babinka Boy, the leader of the Hala Hala homies in the Center Gang, back for another ShoPowSho. I have the legendary DOUG MARCAIDA, and I apologize if I just brutalized that, in the building. The man behind Lineage, and of course his collaborators on this, returning to the ShoPowSho. You know we love them. They're our pares. I have Earl Baylon as well as Justin Quizon. How are you, gentlemen? And again, if I'm brutalizing names, you know I was raised in America. The language ain't all the way there. I'm sorry. I was Americanized. What can I tell you?
What's up, everybody?
Apologize about.
What's up?
Nailed it, dude.
It's all good.
So let's talk about Lineage, man. This new project with Kid Heroes. I don't know how this started, but I'm just loving it. We all know the man, the myth, the legend in DOUG MARCAIDA here. How did you two bozos, my brothers, get hooked up with this guy? How did this start? Did Doug reach out? Did you guys reach out? Where did the germ first hit to then make you guys put pen to pad and then start reaching out to make these things happen?
I think.
Well, I think the story starts like way before us two. It's
100%. I would think Doug. Doug, how did you meet up with Pat?
Yeah, what happened was I was talking about this is a story I've been doing for over 10 years that I've been wanting to publish. It was really something that I wrote to be a TV show. I had always that vision to tell stories from a different point of view, based on my experience on Forging Fire, based on my Filipino martial arts, based on the bladed culture and bladesmithing and my travels all over the world. From my teachers to the bladesmiths to the cultures and their stories, I go, these stories have to be told. So I wanted to do that. I had a producer from Forging Fire that we were talking about it, and COVID hit and things changed. And of course, Hollywood fell down. All right, no problem. So here we are today. And one of the things I said, you know what? I'm in a later stage of my life. I got to get this done. I got to share these stories. So I said, well, let's put it in print. And I thought about doing a graphic novel. I'd love to see it in print. And what I did was I reached out to a friend of mine, who was Winston Imano. And Winston said, hey, I happen to know guys who have their own comic series, Lumpia Verse. I'm like, no, not a cookbook, man. I want to have my comic series. I don't want food in this. And he goes, no, 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 this is the lumpia guys. And he guided me to that, and I found them. So I presented my story to Patricio, and he goes, this is cool. I had the framework. I have the whole framework and the vision, but I'm not a writer. I go, let me get these two guys to get to be able to write this for it, so it'll flow. And then he got these guys to me, and that's where it started. And they came up with that title, LINEAGE. And what LINEAGE? I had it named something else. No, LINEAGE. Oh, what? Oh, Lineage. Oh no, LINEAGE Pinoy. But Lineage, sige, if you want to. I'm just kidding. That was just me messing around with my noise. But the first series of this is about my culture. I wanted to tell the story based on the myths, the lores of the blades from my own roots, which is the Philippines.
I love that. I love that. All right, Earl, Justin, Pat reaches out. I have Doug. First off, I'm sure you like, oh my gosh, you got Doug? What? He has a project? So you get that word. Talk to me about how the two of y'all got included. Like, were throwing ideas at Pat and then take what he had? Can we talk process and then putting this all together?
Yeah. So Pat was telling us about this deal he was having with Doug, and he was like, how about this? Like he had like what basically was like kind of Doug's original outline Bible, and he sent it to me and Earl, and it was like, okay, give this a read and see what you guys think of it, and kind of maybe start figuring out ways that you want to kind of flesh it out. What do you want to pull from it? Characters, new characters even, and see where it goes. And I remember me and Earl were reading it, and then we kind of stepped back. Here's a bunch of stuff that we liked. Here's a bunch of stuff that we thought were cool, and we could see where the story was gonna go. Earl, how do you want to add to that?
Yeah, that's basically what happened. We had a meeting with Pat, and I think one of the first things we really sat down and we did after that was come up with a title, something that we could, something that we could really sell, something that sounded both mysterious but evoked some kind of like imagery and all that.
Cultural.
Yeah, and cultural, very cultural.
That was the process too, because we were we had like days, it felt like, of just like, here's a long list of just words and phrases and combinations of stuff, and part of the deal of figuring out a new title, why we felt like let's try to figure out the title for the whole concept, is that we were like, we want something that if you go to the comic book shop, you walk by and you pause and you go, whoa, what's that?
Yeah.
Or this is something I brought up in one of our meetings, is that like, I was kind of inspired by comic creator Robert Kirkman, right? And Kirkman had a new comic book that just came out called Blood and Thunder. And he was like, I've had that title for years because I just thought, that's such a good title. I don't know what the hell the comic is, but I love that title. And I can imagine going to the comic book shop and go, yo, did my new issue of Blood and Thunder come out?
Blood and Thunder.
And so I kind of kept that in mentality. I went like, that should be the vibe. I'm a guy who has a comic book pull. I'm going to go to my shop and went, did the new issue of blank? Our book should be easily like that. And we landed on Lineage because it felt like, everyone's like, oh, legacy. Yeah, I've heard that word thrown everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but one of us mentioned Lineage. And then I was thinking like, hey, did my new issue of Lineage come out? Ooh, okay.
That kind of works.
That works. I can feel that. And like we all kind of felt it, and we were like, all right, let's send it to Doug, and Doug approved and liked it, and that's kind of how we landed on that title.
All right.
Well, that's also because, I kind of like left it at, because I thought the first original title was cool, which was Circle of Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of catchy, right?
That does grab you.
But you were saying Blood and Thunder, and like, oh, then you were just telling me, no, you know what? There's so much blood already out there.
Yeah.
So it's common, right?
Yeah.
So when I first saw it, I'm
blood.
like, oh, lingerie. What's this? Lingerie? Lingerie? All right. At first, I thought it was lingerie. All right. No, it's not. Lineage. All right. Fine. But
Should
here's the
write that
thing.
comic book lingerie.
I don't go to a plumber for dental work, right? These guys are the masters of what they do. So I trust the process. They're very good at what they do. Then I'm like, they see it. I was never a comic book guy. I just like borrow comic books and look at it and all this, but I didn't understand the whole culture behind it. I mean, San Diego Comic Con was an eye opener for me. And I'm in love with the whole thing. But that to see these guys and that they understand it, like you said, I'm getting educated. So I'm truly enjoying this process.
And I love everything that it's looking like. And that's what I want to get to now. After we've come together, we have a title. This is so different than everything else. I'm Justin, Earl. I've known you guys. I've been there with Kid Heroes and these comics, right? It's completely different than what Pat has been doing. So we have this idea, we have this look. Your artist on this. Can you shout out the artist real quick? I don't know. I forgot his name.
Felix Morales. Yeah.
And Raymond Lee, I think, as well.
Raymond
Lee,
Lee.
he's our cover guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And colorist.
It looks dope. So we have this amazing creative team. We got Doug in our corner. But you also kind of mentioned this is Lineage. Oh, I want that copy of Lineage. We all know Pat. I want to keep it real. We kind of, do books here, Kickstarter campaign for the next book. I want to know what the plan is, man, because I want a lineage of books. If you feel me. So you guys give him the story. He tells you this idea. What are we expecting this with right now? We have this issue 1 that is already funded as of this campaign. And when this drops, please again support so you can get your copy of issue 1. What are we thinking with this first batch of stories? Is this, like the first trade, the first 4 issues? What is the rollout plan, or what have you guys written that we can count on and expect? Because I'm going to hold y'all fools to it, because I need more Doug. I need more Lineage. That's what we're saying here.
Right.
I'm putting you on the spot,
Doug?
Justin and Earl.
Okay. Go ahead, Doug. I think you got this.
Well, it's one of the things, right? I'm a blade designer. I have a lot of blades that I carry with me, and people ask, "Okay, Doug, what kind of knives do you design? How do you carry them?" I'm like, well, let's see. I have this and this and this and this, and these are just the things that I happen to have around me. And so, how can you have one? So, Lineage is exactly that. It's a story that every blade has a story to tell. I start off with my own lineage. Where did I come from? That's where we start. But without giving away, and this is one thing I've learned, and of course, this comes from Patricio. Doug, let them come to you and find out what it's about. Because in the art of storytelling, there are many stories that are all linked together. And in this particular one, I find it that I wanted to talk about my bladed history, my culture, and everything else. But it's a saga. It's not just one story. It's a bunch of stories all linked together because there's a lineage to these stories. And that's the web that I'm trying to weave, because that's Sinawali and Kali. But that's also one of the things that I want to share with people, my stories. And these guys are helping make sense of it. Because I get like, no, this is how it flows. This is how it flows. I'm like, oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So now that I've done that, and if I don't release it, I might explode. So now you guys say, I want to hear the way you're going to get out of this without giving away too many.
So these guys know I'm a comics guy. So is this, and then the vibe from that kind of explanation, is this an anthology book of issue 1? Or is this just like the introduction, and then we're going to get all these other stories in like the next 4? There's going to be 4 issues, max series of 12 issues. Or is it a long-standing ongoing? Come on, guys. Y'all know I'm a comics guy.
Yeah, Justin, what is it?
What we will say is that this story that we're telling in Lineage, the first issue, this arc will be done in 4 issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can say that. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm trying to get you in trouble with Pat. Pat's gonna be watching this. Hey, Pat.
I know he is. I know. And he's gonna be like yell. If we screw up, he's gonna yell at us. But I'm kidding. He's a nice guy. No.
And in those 4 issues, we're going to get a complete story.
Yes.
So we can call that lineage circle of blood. So we can give Doug back his title.
Yes.
Potentially,
who
that
knows?
could be like
Maybe that could be
that could be on. That looks good on the spine of a trade. You know,
right? It does. That would look great on the spine of a trade.
Lineage Circle of Blood, Volume 1.
And like,
well, it's one of the. So if you look at that, right, that's lineage right there. But when you start to find out what lineage, this is not lineage, it's just the first issue. Then you find the second issue, the third issue, but all of a sudden it's all connected to a whole storyline of a saga.
Yeah.
So that's the whole idea of what you see here. It's what you're seeing right now is the start of it, but it's connected, yet different, yet connected.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of it. It's very hard to just, if I were to tell you, the whole story is written right here, by the way. It's all here. It's all here, right?
That's actually the outline.
In our baybayin. This is our baybayin right here in this, right?
Right.
So it's all here, but only giving you this piece right here to begin with, but it has to make sense. And they're all connected. They're all connected to weave that story. And if you don't, once you start getting into it, then you have to put on the goggles. This will make sense. Oh, it'll like, bing. No, I see what it says now. But that's the way I was looking. And I was inspired by that whole thing. How do you tell your whole life story? Well, they're all bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Different dimensions or cultures or who knows, right? It's a comic verse.
Definitely.
Yeah. And like Earl said, this will be the story that we are starting, the characters that we're introducing here, which are two brothers by the name of Miguel and Virgil. And they kind of have like a traumatic past that they are both afraid of and hunting towards. They're trying to find more about it, learn more about it. And like that story will be told at least this first version of the story, like, you know, is told in these like 4 pages, in these 4 issues, which we have at the moment. Like, it definitely, you know where the last issue is going to end up, what's going to happen. And like, all I can say is like issue 1, part of the deal. I remember when we were talking early about writing the script, it was like, you know, issue 1, like, you know, we can't, this is no slow build comic book, you know, like, you're not going to get a little like, okay, we're getting slowly hinting of this and that. No. If you see Doug's name and the promise of blades, I'm like, you need to see some action by the end of issue 1.
Yeah.
So I won't say how the action's going to come about, but I was like, no, issue 1 has got to end with some bloodshed. And like, that one I can promise. And it's going to get more bloody.
Exciting, right? It was one of this when they were writing in the beginning. I was like this. Are we fighting it? Is it time?
And
how about now?
Also, Doug, you've mentioned this to Pat so many times that like, because Pat, like you mentioned earlier, oh yeah, we've done the Lumpia comics, and you've helped write one too. Like, they're fun, but they're not only are they PG, Patricio Johnson, but they're also literally like rated PG.
Yeah,
like, there's no, you know, no cursing. It's family friendly. Yeah. But Doug has mentioned to Pat so many times, like, going, "Oh, this is like rated R."
Oh yeah.
This is
there's no.
So I kind of just poured myself over the page, and I was like, "Yo."
So you were given that creative freedom that you didn't have to, as you were restrained with the Lumpia stuff, right?
No, absolutely. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun to like go, "Oh, I can write a curse word."
I know. What should we put here? Should we say mother effer, or should we say?
Yeah, that was our conversations me and Earl have via Zoom meetings. Like, should we say mother effer in this page? Yeah, let's say mother effer in this page.
So nice, perfect, feels right.
So we have the story based from Doug that you got. Can we talk about the process? Because, you know, we're creatives, guys. You know, we love our processes. So. Yes. So you got your story from Doug. You two got together. I'm sure you mashed off and then brought Doug in on some calls.
Yeah. Yes.
So who did the first pass on the scripts, and then what was that like? And then working together and then dialogue. Because what I also see from the beauty of the pages, and then I would like to also tap in how you selecting this artist, the beauty of the art, and then as we see the poses. So I'm sure you brought Doug in to like, and Doug had his thoughts on what he wanted certain panels to look like, right? You see the love for the choreography, the fighting, the blades in this line work again, which is just making it an amazing Kid Heroes project?
So, me and Earl got on Zoom and basically like fleshed out like an outline. We're like, okay, maybe this happens. And I've known Earl since 2008. So like, and we've collaborated on so many different projects throughout the years, including writing stuff, that like, it was easy. We were just like, ooh, and this happens. And then Earl's like, ooh, and then this happens. What else do you want to add to that?
That's basically it. We sat down with Doug's like outline, like his book, his Bible, and what he wanted to happen. And we're like, which things can we highlight? Which things can we cut down to like make the story move? And which things do we really want to hit, you know? So we had that in mind. We highlighted certain things like, well, we'd have to have this happen for sure. And this we can like maybe push to the background, or we can like push it to a flashback or something like that. So we did a lot of that, like taking the pieces that Doug gave us and then arranging them, and then putting those all in order that we thought was going to be a captivating story.
Yeah.
So like Justin said, we sat there and we came out with the outline for the first issue, and then for the entire 4-issue arc.
Mm-hmm.
So we have everything written down.
Yeah.
And then
it's still malleable too. You know, it's not like
very malleable.
Issues 2 to 4. Who knows what will happen? You know what new things will come about when we talk.
That's one of the things that we're trying. That's why we're going with Kickstarter, because I have a following, and I'm encouraging them to be part of it. Maybe one of them will, you know, depending on how we do this, we'll throw in our, okay, once we get this project out, we want to put somebody's image in it, right? We want to really be in, to make them involved. Just like when you're following Game of Thrones and you go, oh, maybe this could happen. Let's go. You just don't know. It's the excitement. I like to involve people so that it's not just my project, it's our project. The first story, obviously, is based on my culture. I want to pull in the Filipino culture to do that and everything. But I want to educate everybody, because in the end, it's not about culture. It's not about race. It's about humans. Humans being humans. And this first story, it brings in about a lot of myths and lores of the Filipino culture, of Southeast Asia, but also it comes about the cultish behavior, about what are the dark things that are connected to something. But then it's also a brotherhood. It's also about the connection between brothers and siblings, and about their father and family, and wanting to find out more about, you know, their connection to their roots. If you're lost, I am born, I'm transported somewhere. Who am I?
Yeah.
And that's why when you look at the characters of the guys, they are, one's a private investigator, the other one's out there doing all this, because in many ways what they're doing is trying to just find out who they are. And that's all connected. But here's the thing. Sometimes you don't want to find out who you are. You're better on leaving things alone.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it. It's like a psycho thriller. I'll tell you, it's a whodunit thing.
Yeah. Ooh,
be careful what you wish for.
Nice teaser, Doug. Good job.
I love that. Look at Doug's trained up. He knows all about this.
To kind of also answer one of your other questions. So when we started writing the script, we, you know, like some of the stuff is pretty detailed, like scenes and like scenes, descriptions, dialogues, character. But with the fight scenes, as I've learned from screenplay writing, you just write and they fight. And you let the experts figure it out. So how we got
your stunt chords for, yeah.
That's what your stunt chords for, exactly. And so how we got Felix did one of these stories in the Eraserhead comic that we released for Kid Heroes, and he did the zombie apocalypse section that happens, which represents surviving 2020. And Pat sent these pages that Felix did and went, you need to see this. And we were like, okay. And we looked at these pages. I'm like, that guy's good. That guy's like really good. And I went to his Instagram account, and then I was like, that guy's like really good.
That'd be cool if we could get him for Lineage.
Yeah. Oh, and then Pat's like, oh, you know, I've already asked him. And we're like, oh, dope. And so my experience writing comics for Kid Heroes has been fun because it's like every story I've helped write or I fully wrote is so different depending on the artists I've worked with. You know, like I tell people comic book writing for me hasn't been a consistent game because I've been adapting my writing style to the artist, because at the end of the day, comics are a visual medium and the writing has to be strong, but if the art sucks, no one wants to pick up that comic book. I don't.
Yeah.
But what keeps me staying to reading a comic is having a good story. So it has to be the balance of both. And every time I get figured out who's going to be my artist for my story, I adjust my writing to that artist. And with Felix, it was amazing. I kind of this is the closest I've done to the Marvel way. Where I just wrote a thing,
Yeah.
went, okay, this happens. I say how many panels, but then there are times I literally went, I have no idea how many panels. And so I just wrote a description and I'm like, let's see how that goes. Great example is page 1. That is this flashback to the brothers when they're younger. And I wrote, older brother gets a strike, younger brother dodges, younger brother strikes, older brother blocks. That's all I really wrote.
Okay.
And then I find out that like Felix and Doug talk to each other because he'd asked Doug specifically, what should I do? So Doug, what was that process for you actually?
Yeah. Well, I'm a hands-on guy. Basically, when Patricia said, I got a guy, this is what he's done before. He showed me the eraser heads. Like, that's great. Let me talk to the guy. Instagram. And I'm like, all right, you're in. You're going to be writing stuff. What's your background? And he was like, wow, it's cool that, we know you from Fortune Fire and everything else. But I wanted to know, do you get what's going on here? Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, it's Filipino martial arts, but what's the storyline? And I told him, I need to know, what do you know? And I go, who are you? Well, yeah, comic book and everything. What else do you do? He goes on treks all the time. He goes on treks all over the Philippines. And we talked about the land. We talked about the people. We talked about the culture. He go, whoa. So you know about your culture. He goes, absolutely. I always talk to the guides. I want to ask about the land. I want to ask about why they call it this, why they call it that. And then watch his videos where he's taking kids around these treks all over and these excursions and the history. So I'm like, you're really tied to the land. Good. You know a lot. Good. Except he's not a martial art practitioner. That's not a problem. So what I did was I started, I took a video with my brother, my sibling, and we started showing. I want the storyline to show that these brothers who are there in their history, they train together. So I wanted to show our pagalan or our different ways of our rituals that we do to show respect and everything for the art, but also our movements of the art, right? Because that's what's connected in this, and how they do it together as a sacred thing, as a familial thing, and truly bring out the fighting techniques. And he did that. That's why when I saw that, you could see some of our very common looks. But here's the best part. There's a very important fight scene that when I saw it, and I didn't even bring it up, the image of a nightmare, he captured and made it truly from our culture. And if you look at the print art right here, right? Let's see if I can go right there. You see that? That Carabao skull head on a man's body like a thick balang.
Yeah.
I'm like, without saying that, he captured it. I'm like, you know what's going on. The Bakunawa mask, the brotherhood that you see right there, all the essence of what's going on. I'm like, you get it. And it was on a splash art. So when I saw that, I was blown away. I was like, wow, I didn't even think of it that you would use that. But he captured the essence. And that's what I love about it. I'm like, we got a good team here.
Yeah.
Because I think we got storytellers, we got the artists who see the vision, and we're all going to come together to make it happen. That's why I'm saying this is my concept to start out with, but it's our story to grow. And it's just got a great start. But I want the fans to be part of it too. That's why now we're coming up with, you're going to get the story of the blade, the hero blade. You'll have the real version of it too. How about if you get these, with Kali and everything, our tattooed arts with all the Sanskrit, the Bayin of that. Come on, be part of it.
I love that. I love that for you guys. I'm jealous. Guys. Because, I was involved and I'm still down with the Lumpia universe, but this is up my alley too. So Pat, hey, holla, I want to be part of the team. Like, I love this.
This is only the first issue.
Or for future thing on the Kickstarter campaign, we'll draw you to die by one of the bad guys or whatever. I'll sign up. You know,
that's not a bad idea.
I'll sign up to be killed.
I know exactly.
That's such a good idea, actually.
Here's the beauty of it, right? Because of this,
cool stuff.
There's already so much interest already that's been drawn from this. So we're blessed. I got invited to Athens Con because of this, but there's also research going on. So this is the Philippines. I'm already thinking the forethought for the next, saga where the other blades from different countries. So Greece, home of the gods. I mean, there's so many different things that we're doing with that. There's already an interest in somebody calling and asking from producers, like, we want to find out more. So there's a lot of energy that's happening from the beginning, and I don't know how that happens with this comic world and everything else, but I want to invite everybody to be part of it in its inception. You want to be part of this now, because when it hits big and everything else, you don't want to be left behind. But because you join in, it helps us fund other things that I want to create in the beginning to become collectors, because San Diego Comic-Con is all about collectors and that whole world. I didn't realize that. So I want to have a pendant of the blades. I want to have the sticks. I want to in the beginning, right? And then just let people grab it while they can. So to me, that was the exciting part. That's one of the whole culture I did not, or have never experienced in my life.
Oh yeah, we got merch. We Filipinos will grab it because I know I want.
I mean, I saw the way people dressed up.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is so much part of our story, right? You become what you wear. You become who you think you are by wearing masks and everything else. Like, wow. So yeah, I think we're pretty much in line with where we're going with this.
It's fun. I remember like when me and Doug met up at the Olympia Gas Lamp Factory. And I can see in his eyes, like, I get it. And he had so many new ideas that he was pitching to me at this bar. And I was like, it was a loud bar. So I was like, yeah, keep telling me, because I could tell he was really jazzed. And I was something that it's exciting to like add that now to the comic when it wasn't there before. And again, it's like, it's evolving, it's changing, it's shaping in front of us, and that's the fun of what we're doing too. Sure.
I love it. So guys, right now, support the campaign. Link in the description below so you can get issue 1 and then all the way to issue 4 and onward. Because again, as you've heard, they have a ton of ideas. So right now in this journey, you guys are, we're promoting issue 1. We're going to close out the first 4 as we move into the next part of the saga. What are the energies that we have, and just what inspos that we have from, you guys went and, made some announcements, you promoted at San Diego Comic-Con. We've got a bunch more cons this year. Hopefully, as Doug said, he's got another invite. I think you said Athens Con. Where are we doing more shows and promotions?
We're going to be releasing the physical comic book at the New York Comic-Con.
Okay.
New York City Comic-Con. So that's when we're going to launch it, and that's in October. Yeah. That's the physical launch of the comic book.
All right, so Justin, Earl, you coming over there too? Am I going to see you guys there at the launch with Doug?
We'll see.
Your babies are being born. How can you not be there?
If more people, if the Kickstarter is very successful,
it would be nice. I have never been before.
I also have never been New York Comic-Con.
Really?
I
need to be y'all's tour guide, man. Holla at your boy, man. Come on now.
Oh, that'd be dope, dude. Trust me. That'd be great.
I would love to. Yeah.
Let's being subtle aside. Yeah, we would love to.
If there's any way at all that we can be there.
Yeah, I think you could just
do some extra voice acting.
Be there. Let us come.
There you go. Get a baby seal, right? If you don't go, I'm gonna beat the hell. No, you don't do that.
Your voice actor agent can help you. Come on, you could do some signings with that. We can make.
I know. I don't know if I'm that cool yet. I don't know if New York Comic-Con will just bring me over. Talk to my agent.
Don't you want to bring the voice of Arcane's sexiest man into New York Comic-Con?
You start walk around with a megaphone with your voice.
Yeah.
I know, right?
You recognize this voice?
You may have heard it
on the subject, because we're also filmmakers here, and Doug, you're from the TV world,
Mm-hmm.
if you know we have a comic, but maybe can we talk future goals? Maybe video game.
Absolutely.
Animated series.
This is.
We have
I
one of the
just
premier
wanted to
voice
make
actors
sure.
in Earl Baylon.
Of course, of
Can we
course.
talk future goals maybe as well?
Future goals, definitely a TV show.
Okay.
Definitely. Or a movie. But I'm more of a series because this is something, well, a saga on a movie theater, but this was the reason why I created this. I want to leave something behind. I'm at the late stages of my life already. And the one thing I've learned is now it's time for me to leave everything behind. Everything that allowed me to shine. I'm not taking that with me. So what does come with that? It comes with stories. It comes with I'm teaching a legacy martial art with the karambit with Ray Donaldo, another luminary, and we're leaving everything back. We're just leaving it. So what else do I have aside from my martial arts skill? I've got stories to tell. Where did I get these stories? From my teachers, from my travels and everything else. That is how they keep it alive. So allow me to share it with everyone and put it in print, and then hopefully we can grow it in other ways. But that's my goal for this.
Awesome. How about you, Earl, Justin? Some last minute shout outs on that respect. Or what do you want to tell the people about Lineage?
I mean, that would be cool to do a video game. I've always wanted to be involved in a video game that kind of centered Filipino martial arts. I just didn't know what the story would be.
Let's go.
This could be it.
This could be it. You're a gamer. Don't you have connections?
I who knows? I would like to believe that I do, but
put him in contact. How about this? Who do I have to kill to make that happen?
How about you, Justin?
I would oh man, if it would be amazing to see this as a prestige like streaming project,
like an HBO,
like HBO, Netflix show, and just really push it out there. I would love to see, especially this first story that we came up with, because I already I'm a fan of our characters already, and I'm already looking forward to the stuff that we have coming that we haven't even wrote yet.
The next arc.
I know, dude.
Circle of Blood.
It's gonna be wild, man.
Because I do like that Circle of Blood, Doug. I want to throw that back in there somewhere. Arc 1, Arc 2, Circle of Blood.
Yeah. So, it would be great, but also writing a great comic is the first priority. And, I want people to read the series and go, great, when's issue 2? When's issue 3? When's issue 4? And it would be Doug talked about cosplay, and I'm like, man, it would be amazing to start seeing people, dress up as things that we came up with for this comic. Already, I get a kick at seeing kids dress up as Rachel from Lumpia with a Vengeance, and Kuya from Lumpia. I'm still waiting on a G-Dog cosplayer. Some kid out there, come on! I know you're out there. It's not that hard.
I don't even know what the G-Dog.
We have the living one right here. Come on, now.
It's not that hard. Just get a backwards cap, some jersey, and you just gotta be brown. You're good.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even have.
Speaking of cosplay, do we have? If I can throw this at you now, Doug.
No.
This right here, this cover,
G-Dog,
prominently featured this blade. Can we get this made?
Wow.
Already done. Already done. And this is the replica of that. If you're part of the I'm sorry. I was just waving these around. Yeah. This is the Marcado. So this is a replica made of aluminum alloy, shiny version of that. And this is the real blade. We just got to put the marks on those.
Yeah,
right?
the design that you have on here.
Yeah. And there's another
really cool.
And there's one more. But that's it right there. If you take a look at it. So yeah, that's the Marcado right there.
And
awesome.
What was it? The if you do donate for the KEAL edition, you do get one that looks like the cover.
Yeah,
okay.
Markings, everything.
This is the prototype. So the Marcado, so this is what just came in. So we're gonna have the scales exactly like the marked one.
Nice.
So
it's already happening, yo.
It's already happening.
Merchandise.
We just need more people to just go ahead and be part of this, so we can make it happen the way we want to make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, guys. I'm honored to be chatting up with my bros, and Doug. A pleasure to meet you in person,
Same
virtually.
Here.
I'll meet you in person at New York Comic Con, and
All
we'll have
right.
these two hopefully with us. But this is just an exciting project. Salute to
Well,
our
you
brother
know,
Pat.
they're so compact. You can open up your luggage, they'll pop out.
Doug has
Right?
pointed out how small I am in real life, which I'm like, yeah, I know.
Because
I'm
Earl,
Wolverine
when I
size,
met him,
dude.
we're like, how cute.
Wolverine. But see, Wolverine is still heavy. That dude is like 300 pounds.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
He's 5'3", 300 pounds. It's all
Well,
that
this
adamantium.
This is dope, man. A salute to you all on this. And the unfeatured guy, the artist, your team, and Raymond, the other two.
Raymond and Felix, yeah.
Line work looks amazing. The visuals, the colors, covers. And then obviously the three of you guys. And again, my brother Pat over there. I'm digging it. And as always, I want to be a part. So holla at your boy. But until then, y'all go support the campaign. Link is in the Kickstarter below. The amazing Earl Baylon, Justin Quizon, DOUG MARCAIDA. Thank you all for your time. Go check them all out. Hopefully at New York Comic Con. Hopefully I'll be there to celebrate with them. But go get your copy right now after you're done watching this interview. Thank you, gentlemen. Salamat for your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all.
Right.
Links for all of them as well in the description below. Go follow, subscribe, do all the things. I'm Kuya P. As always, mahal kita. Salamat. Sige na. Peace.
Peace.
All right, guys. There's a recording. I'm gonna do a 3, 2, 1. To help me with my edit. We're coming off the trailer. Introduce you all, and we'll get right into it. All right, here we go. In a 1, 2, 3.